We are so proud to have all you 2019 GATE rankers here at our IS Master Office. So can you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Sanchit Sharma and I have secured AII 29 in GATE 2019.
I'm Abbas Pratap Singh and I have scored AII 26 in 2019.
I'm Space Gupta and I have secured AII 24 in 2019.
I am Vigrant Gautam and I have scored rank 16 in GATE 2019.
I am Paramjit Kumar Dubey and I have secured All India rank 3 in GATE 2019.
I'm Nagendra Balaji. I secured AII 53 in GATE 2019.
I'm Mohit Raj. I have secured rank 40 in GATE 2019.
Hi, I am Umang Jaggi. I have secured AII 46 in GATE 2019.
So how would you guys describe this year's 2019 GATE paper? How was it different, say, from previous year paper?
This year the paper was quite tougher than the last previous 2 or 3 years. If we can see the trend of last 2 or 3 years, we find that most of the questions were almost moderate to easy. But this time, some of the questions were moderate to tougher than compared to last year question papers.
Do all of you agree or anyone disagree?
Exactly. I mean, this year a lot of tougher questions were asked. I mean, if you decided to leave those questions, only then you could complete the whole paper. So all in all, the overall level of the paper was moderate to tough.
So this year paper actually resonated with more of ES mains rather than resonating with the previous year papers.
Objective paper, right?
Yeah.
So specifically speaking of paper, we start with section 1, right? Engineering Mathematics Aptitude.
Right.
What was about this part? Was it the same as previous year or was it any different?
I think this year maths was easy for me that I have given, but from last year it was easy paper, I think, for maths and aptitude.
In the afternoon session, the level was almost same. I mean, some of the questions that you get are quite difficult. You haven't even heard of them, and some of the questions that are quite easy. You have already solved them a multiple number of times.
And there are 2 questions that you don't even know about. So that's like they are out of the blue that have come. So you can make a easy guess in those questions that I've made a guess and it was right.
Right.
So there's that.
For set 1, the aptitude part was really easy and the maths part was moderate to tough. And some of the maths questions were obviously easy, but some of them were quite tough.
Yes. Yeah.
Now coming on to the technical part, starting with all important SOM and structure analysis. What was you guys' take on it?
The technical part was tougher than the last 3 years. Actually, the problems of the structure and so, and the steel problems actually it was a plate bearing problem which we solved in a mains examination, but that was asked in 2 marks question and it was tougher than the last 3 years questions.
If we talk about SOM has a good weightage and the problems were quite simple. And if we talk about structure, the problems were also not lengthy, but they were rather small. But if we talk about steel, they had gone into the depths of beams and columns, and that is why you had to do. I mean, you had to study quite a lot for the steel part if you had to crack those questions.
I guess steel and RCC otherwise also require a little more, being with design subjects, they require a little more study.
More attention, right?
Right, a little more attention.
You have to cram up some of the things.
Fluid mechanics also requires some attention.
Now, first speaking of soil structure analysis, FM, fluid mechanics, soil and environment. These are the base subjects generally which you have to do good. So, I mean, did it went good for you guys?
So I think the question was regular, but in different ways it was asked. Like
you have to simply apply basic logic in every one of the questions. You have to read the language of the question, and you have to apply basic logic, and you can get the answers easily.
So the treatment of language was different.
Yes, sir. Right. In the first paper, if you see, the same question is asked, but in different language. Like previously, they used to ask to find out the value of ppm of the air, means oxygen or something. Right. And this time they have asked it otherwise. So if you put some brain, it's quite easy.
It was quite all the same. Only the language that you had to comprehend that was difficult.
It was the spin of the language.
Right.
More than the concept. Concepts and
concept was simply logical. You have to apply basic logic and you go to it.
If you had solved the previous year's papers, then you will get a basic idea of what they are trying to ask. So based on that you can get a good score if you have just gone through that.
Now coming on to the other topics, that is, as he said, steel and RCC. Can you discuss in detail as to how you guys actually prepared, what you expected, and what it turned out to be, and where actually the levels should be, because there is a limit to time, there is a limit to what we can achieve, right?
Right.
But then exam, anything can. So how actually you prepared and what was the thresholds you individually set for yourselves?
For paper 1, I prepared from IS Masters booklets, and all of the concepts that were covered in the booklets the questions can be solved from the concepts that were covered in the booklets. So you do not need to have additional practice from somewhere else. So if you have read the booklets, then it was quite easy for you to solve them.
For paper 1, I have studied from the notes given by the classroom, and I have given the test series that was made by the IS Master, and that's all I have.
For as far as RCC is concerned, your design aspect was, you don't have to focus much on design aspect, you simply have to focus on the recommendations that are given in the codes and which are taught to you in your class. So if you simply focus on the recommendations, you can solve most of the questions of RCC.
Yeah, just the classroom notes and the test series, if you follow them religiously, that would be sufficient.
Test series is also sufficient. I think in the test series all the concepts were already covered. It's just this in steel some questions of that came new as new questions. So those were the problems. Otherwise it was
In set 1 also from CPM part 1, in set 1 the question was there of crushing, which took a lot of time. I think some from last 2 or 3 years we can see that from CPM very easy questions were asked, but this time crushing was asked, which took a lot of time this time.
So speaking of the rest of the subjects, how about that?
Well, if we talk about BMC they had gone into quite certain depth in cement and concrete also, in both the papers. I mean, I heard about session 1, but in session 2 they had gone into depths of cement and concrete. So that was a quite difficult aspect, and I mean, few of the students have solved it directly, but that was quite difficult for me, I would say that.
Now, coming on to the other aspect, that is, most of you like spoken of test series and maybe classroom at one go, right? So how these two complement each other? You got it? How these two complement each other? That is, you figure out your lackanas, right?
Classroom program builds your concept, and actually test series you can check your concept, how well they are working.
Right. So what was otherwise, how did it actually test series translated into, say, the ranks which you scored in GATE?
Time management basically.
Test series actually covered a variety of questions from all the topics. None of the topic was left. So we were able to cover all the syllabus. So it helped a lot for technical.
And furthermore, your strategies and the time that you have to manage during the actual exam, that you can experiment. You can do it on experimental basis. You can try various strategies in various different exams of test series, and then you can implement the one which suits you the most in the actual exam.
So
that helps quite a lot.
This is the most interesting question. So as test series, as you guys said, as test series decoded you, individually I'll like to ask, starting from you,
okay,
what were the 2-3 points actually which revealed and which actually helped you build upon certain areas?
I would right from the start I started with the subject-wise test series, and I figured out which topic is which topic is my weak point, and I was able to focus on that. I did little revisions. I focused mainly on solving the problems related to the topics, and then I moved on to the full length test. And that time I was able to focus on which questions I have to give my most of the time, and which questions I have to skip, and which questions I have to do in the least time. So that helped me to manage my time as well as essentially cover all the topics in all the subjects.
Actually, from test series I learned 2 things. The first thing was how I have to start from which question or from which part. Actually, I used to start from 2 marks questions. They were quite lengthy, and you have to solve them very correctly. And to solve them, actually, if you start from the second part, actually, when you start the paper, you are quite stressed to solve these questions, and actually when you are solving those questions, they need time and actually your accuracy. So if you solve these two marks question and you finish them, you have a bit confidence that you can solve the other questions too, and then you go to aptitude part, which takes less time, and you can solve 15 or 10 questions in very few minutes, and then after that you have left quite up like 35 or 45 minutes time, which will be sufficient to solve the 1 mark question, and that actually helped me to prepare build my strategy for the paper solving, and that's what I used in the exam, and I solved the paper. And the second thing which I learned from the exam or online test series was actually which part to cover. Actually, the subjects were tough to 30 subjects, but you cannot cover like every part of a subject. But the test series that focused on some of the questions like questions of soil and structure, which were covered like consolidation formula or structure in solving of structures like moment distribution and other things. So you covered those things and they really helped me to solve the paper.
Basically, test series helped me to fine tune my strategy on the time to devote to each questions. For example, I figured out that 1 to 1.5 minutes is more than sufficient for 1 marks question, so that I can be left with around 3 to 3.5 minutes for 2 marks questions. So basically, in the exam, I was gauging my performance according to that. First, I attempted 5 general aptitude questions of 1 mark, and that were easily covered in first 5 minutes. For the next 5 questions of 2 marks, I could devote roughly say 10 minutes for all the questions. So that gave me a lot of time for civil engineering part of the examination, and basically I was able to complete the question paper in allotted time.
In test series, I was taking the subject wise first, and then at the last near the exam time, I did the full length test. And during the test series, I strategized which question is to pick up and what to do about these questions, and I did the same in the exam.
From the test series, I learned about the time management, how to manage the time in the examination hall. Because if you solve from last, that is from 2 marks question, then it will be easier for you, because whenever you see the time, you will find that more number of marks you have covered more number of marks. Then if you start from the beginning, then you will have to solve first of all 1 mark question, due to which after some time, if you see that I have attempted only this much question, that is only this much marks I have attempted. So actually it gives you the confidence that if you start from 2 marks question, it will give you the confidence that I have solved that much part of the question. And the second part is that actually I have started my test series after subject wise, and then I bookmarked the questions because means that made me to learn the concepts which I was doing wrong, and I bookmarked the questions, and before 1 week of the exam I viewed all the bookmarked questions, which helped me to build my concept, and which made me to make less mistakes in the GATE 2019 exam.
The test series, they started as a subject-wise program, then they did the full-length test. So the first thing that helped me here is I didn't have to plan for that separately for my preparation. I just followed the test series schedule. And then we have this problem of what questions to attempt first. So that you can figure out on your own. Everyone has a different strategy, and while following this test series, you can figure out your own strategy. It may be different for different people. So you can do that by this. And one more thing is, while doing the test series, there will be a lot of mistakes that you commit. Even though you are good in the concept, while doing the problems, you make a lot of silly mistakes. So while having practice with these questions in test series, you will correct them automatically. So that really helped me a lot.
So my strategy was like I used to solve. I just had to plan the timing, because I will always save my time while solving the question. So whenever I make any question, like 2 marks question are very important. I think if you do mistakes in 2 marks questions, then there's a big problem. So I always used to check at that time only that it is solved correctly or not. In fact, I check it 2 times in the exam also, all the questions, so that I do not do mistakes. Because I think only the GATE is all about not committing the mistakes. Because if you make any silly mistakes, it will affect your marks. So this is what I did. And one thing is that I always have screenshots in my mobile of all the questions that I have made wrong. If it's a simple problem also and I commit a mistake, I always take a screenshot, and then I keep going through every day, so that I can correct it.
When I started giving the test, I found out that I was mismanaging the time. So I used to start with 2 marks question first. I used to solve them first, and the questions which are no options, that is the NAT types, I used to solve them twice so that I may not make any error in them. But with options, I could go lightly because the options are there in them, and if I'm matching that, they are correct. So I used to solve them twice, and second of all, I used to make a copy which had all the mistakes of mine, so that I can read it at the time of the examination. So it helped me out.
The biggest benefit of test series is the practice with the on-screen calculator that you get. If you're using a Casio Scientific or a pocket calculator, then it is able for you to adapt to the on-screen calculator, and you get quite a lot of practice with the test series with that.
Yes. Now coming on to material individually.
Okay, so basically, I started off with the regular classroom program. I used to, you can make all the notes here in the classroom, and then I used to revise them. And whatever questions are given in the study material, we used to solve all of them. And accordingly, whatever I was not able to understand, I used to refer to the study material, whatever was written there. And if still it was not clear, I used to come to the classroom again. I used to clear my doubts. And this is how my study material has helped me to build my concepts, my logic, and my knowledge throughout the exam.
Actually, I'm also a classroom student, and I always stick to the whatever was taught in classroom or whatever study material was provided to me. I never referred any additional books or something, but I always checked on what the questions were provided by the test series and the prelims test series. Actually, they were started from the very beginning when we used to join the batch. And the main thing was the previous years. I used to solve them actually quite a lot of time, and I finished previous year at least 4 to 5 times. That helped me a lot to score in the prelims, and I scored good in prelims because of that thing only. Because some of the questions they get repeated. Very oftenly you see that some of 5 or 10 questions actually they get repeated every time. You can score them very accurately. You provide you extra marks, and after that the questions that are coming after that, you have to make sure that your concepts are clear. And for that the study material of IS Master is pretty good, and I refer to that only.
I basically relied only on IS Master's study material. I believe that the language used in IS Master's material is quite lucid and you can understand it by yourself. So I studied by myself and I could build my concepts very clearly from the material. So it's a commendable material.
I was from the classroom program last year and I studied from the notes, and it was very much clear from the notes itself and the study material. I stuck on the notes, then I refer to the study material. If I am not able to understand even that, then I refer to the teacher. Then he used to clear my doubts.
I also joined the regular classroom program of IS Master. I think that IS Master study material is the best, and it covers a lot of numerical problems as well as some practice questions. If you practice that, you will cover all the concepts and all the questions which are being asked in the GATE or ESE competitive examination.
After my graduation, I had worked for 2 years and then took a leave to prepare for engineering services. So because of this 2 years gap, I didn't remember most of the concepts. So it was like starting from the beginning, and this classroom program of IS Masters really helped me build all from the basic level. And the test series, it really helped me a lot for the practice.
So I have taken the classroom program of IS Master only. So the classroom program is very great, and Kanchan sir is very nice in teaching songs, such and everything. I think the study material in itself covers all the GATE questions or the IS questions which are important. So you learn I mostly solve the books only of IS Master, the study material only. So it covers all the concepts and it helped me build my concept.
I'm a regular classroom program student of IS Master. I used to follow my class notes religiously for the questions in the GATE and ES prelims. For if any doubt occurs, then I used to refer the booklet.
Guys, GATE is a huge launching pad. You guys are very young. Where do you see, what are the next opportunities you are going to build upon? Yes.
Well, if you look, at various personalities, the chairman of these various PSUs, and what kind of stature, what kind of intellect they have achieved. So I hope to reach there one day, and this is my kind of launch pad. I already gained experience in private construction industry, so I'll be moving on to the government or the PSU side. So I'll be using up some of the experience that I've got already, and I'll be gaining new experience also, so that I can be of maximum service the company that I'm going to join.
How about the IS Master classroom experience? What are the memories that you guys relish?
Well, there are some jokes that we can't share here, but I mean, it is quite enjoyable. There's not even a day when you feel like you don't have to go to class or you don't want to go to class. You are enthusiastic about it every morning, and so basically every topic, everything is discussed in detail, and there's no place like the teacher will tell you that I'm not supposed to tell you this, or you won't understand this. They will clear each and every one of your doubt in your every concept.
So guys, this bonhomie is going to continue from IS Master once you get into your job, PSU. Maybe most of you might be also preparing for ESE. So it's likely to continue even further, the IS Master Club, right?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Right. So what does your heart say? In one word, to IS Master faculty, to IS Master memories. I mean, whatever you carry. In a word, in a nutshell, if you can say, if you have to sum up, like what it is like being here, and what would you like to say to the faculty of here at IS Master?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. This is a phase that can't be replaced in life, and
we could not have gained such a success without IS Masters, faculty, and other staffs.
Thank you for clearing all the concepts and the doubts.
What about you? Your message to our faculty?
Just saying thank you for clearing all of the doubts that I had.
Guys, you guys are the flag bearers. What is your message collectively? If you can say certain important things, say to the future aspirants as to what it should be, the mistakes that they should avoid. Your learning, if you can share in a nutshell. Yes.
I think, sir, they should keep practicing, and it's very important to keep practicing and give the test series and classroom. Take them seriously. Don't miss any of the classes and give all the tests religiously, and you'll succeed.
Whatever they prepare, they have to prepare wholeheartedly. Means they should not rush into the things. Whatever they should do it with perfection, because that will help you during the revision time. If you learn for the first time, if you learn it wholeheartedly, then during the revision you won't be requiring that much time.
Practice and revision. As we know that practice makes the man perfect. So if we practice, we will know where we commit mistake, and that from the next time we will not commit mistakes. So we will be closer to our results from the next time.
If you have any doubts, then ask. Don't be even if it's a small doubt, then don't be shy. Just ask about it. Don't feel shy, and then you will gain a lot more than that.
I mean, you cannot afford to avoid test series. They are very crucial to success.
I would say work hard, be dedicated, and practice a lot of time. Revise everything, revise your concepts, and that will literally help you.
yes, even if like lackluster habit attitude that you have, or and stop watching too much of YouTube videos and everything. I mean, keep practicing your questions. If you're not able to do them well, don't get demotivated. Read more and more, learn more and more, and keep practicing more and more. That is the way to succeed.
So all you guys are active on social media otherwise?
Yes, sir.
I am.
I mean, are you active on social media?
Little bit.
I mean, and who all has button phone? Anyone here has only button phone, no social media? No, smartphones you have, huh?
Yes,
all of you.
yes. You have to keep certain level of control, but you can do it.
Otherwise,
the
it
smartphone.
it works, or otherwise it doesn't work. What is this?
It depends what is your level of control on yourself.
If you can control yourself, you don't. Like I study on mobile only, so I keep looking on the topic.
I used to leave my mobile phone in the room and go to the library, and if it is not in front, then I will not be using it. That is the simple reason.
But you can use it productively also, because all the students who are preparing for engineering service or GATE, they may not be staying here, they may be at different places. So if they want to ask some doubt or something like that, they can share the questions in WhatsApp, and they can see the answers from there.
So where do you guys see in say another 5 years? Yes? Where do you see yourself in 5 years time?
Working in Indian Railways.
What about you?
Yes, sir. I want to be in good position in some PSUs, sir. Indian Railways.
I would like to be an officer in engineering services.
An officer in engineering services.
Officer in engineering.
Sir, I want Indian police officer. Correct, correct.
I also want to be of physical engineering services, particularly three departments: Ministry of Road Transportation, and Central Engineering Services, and Ministry of Railways.
Guys, you all are not only gem of IAS Master, you are gem of, you belong to the country, you are gem of this nation, right? There is high expectation and hope from you. Wish you the very best.
Thanks.
And we are so proud to have you amongst us. So nice of you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.